Hi everyone. So today I'm going to start my day 4 assignment of TechnoTrade. So let's begin. So coming to the first question, that is, what are different algorithms on which load balancer works, and explain at least 3 of them with an example. So basically, the what load balancer does is when we get a lot, means when a pool of request, we can say, each when a pool of request is given to a, or we can say bunch of request is given to a pool of servers, then their load balancer comes into concept. That basically what it does is, which request will be given to which server. As I mentioned, that when a request comes to a pool of servers, their load balancer decides need which request need to be assigned to which server. So that is the concept of, or we can say the working mechanism of load balancer. So for the load balancing, we have different sort of algorithms are there. I will be mentioning few of them, like your round robin, weighted round robin, list recently used, your list connections, and etc. Okay, so I will be so let us first begin with round robin. As all of us may be familiar with your round robin concept. That as when the request comes, uh, it is assigned to the server by the load balancer, um, as cyclically. Means the requests are assigned to the server cyclically, and in a, that is in a cyclic way. Let's say we have 3 server, your A, B, C, and the requests are your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then let's say we have 6 requests. The first request will be assigned to server A, second will be assigned to server B, third will be assigned to server C, and and then again the fourth one will be assigned to server A, fifth one will be assigned to server B, and sixth one will be assigned to server C. So uh, that is the request will be assigned in a cyclic way. That is the concept of round robin. So and in that we have a consideration that all the servers have the same configuration. Okay, so that is the criteria that all the we have an assumption. That means the criteria should be fulfilling that all the server should have same configuration. Then next is for your weighted round robin. For that also we need to we need to fulfill that criteria, that all the server have your same configuration. So coming to that, what is your weighted round robin is, we do consider a weight or a ratio that is assigned to the server. And let's say, considering that with your round robin concept, the request is assigned to your respective servers. So let's say the weight is given as 3 to server A, and so maximum it could handle is 3 requests, and after, if already 3 requests are being served by server A, and if fourth request come, then it will be assigned to server B if its weight is not totally adjusted. That is the concept of your weighted round robin. Then okay, then we can go for different sort, and this we can go for different types different types of load balancing also, like your hashing, that is based upon your IP address of the request and your URL. Hashing is done with the hash function, and with that value it is mapped to your respective server. Based on the hash value, it is mapped to your respective server. So that is the concept of your hashing. And then also different, like your LRU is also used, that is least recently used. That is the server that is being least recently used. That is the server that is least used in your past recent time. That is that the request which comes, that is assigned to that server. Okay, then so let's move on to the second question, that is mention at least 5 use cases where you think cron job is set in the application on your day-to-day application that you are using day-to-day basis. So what cron job, let me brief about cron job. What cron job does is it act as a task scheduler. You can say in simple terms, it act as a task scheduler. Okay, so we all of us might have sent cards to our near and dear ones, e-cards, on that we can schedule for a respective date, and the card will be dispatched on that date only. So that is we can say here cron job is used. And other examples also, like we can take into so other examples also we can take into consideration, like your in your e-commerce website, like your I'm citing an example of Amazon, that the number of unique page views, or you can say the number of unique views of a product page is the number that is being reported to every seller on every 24 hours, means in a single day, on 24 hours it is reported to the seller, so that he can optimize which of his product is not getting views, and he can optimize so that he get maximum traffic. And there also cron job comes into picture, and as task scheduling is there. And also in your e-commerce website, what happens, the number of the revenue from the ordered product for a respective seller, that report is sent to the, it's being sent to the seller, to the respective seller every month, each and every month. That is that's also a functionality of cron job. And like all of us might have seen that WhatsApp take a backup at every night at 2 a.m. First the application backup is done, then it goes to the server, then server backup is done. So what happens now, even if we lost the device, then we can install the WhatsApp using your using mobile number, and the system will the WhatsApp will recover till that point. That is, we won't lose data till that point, till the backup point. And other examples are other examples of cron job, where cron job is used is we might have subscribed to you. We might have seen that when we subscribe to many websites for example, we subscribe to few pages in Facebook, in your Twitter, then their feeds come on a particular time. Okay, so that feed is also an example of your cron job. So where cron job is used, and other things like your when in Gmail also you have seen that you might have seen that we can schedule the mail for a particular time. Also restriction is there that you can number of mails that you can schedule is up to 100, but you can schedule the mail and for that cron job is for a particular date. For that also cron job is used, and maybe all of you will be familiar with setting a reminder. When you set a reminder, it periodically it's remind you. That's also a for a particular event. It's also a task of cron job. And so basically cron job what does is it's actually task scheduler, scheduling of task, that is scheduling of task for a time period, or you can say for frequency. Okay, that is schedule the task for a particular time period, or for the number of for the frequency. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. That is create a document to explain New Relic dashboard. Okay, so let me begin with the New Relic concept. That we can collect the data from your client side data for your applications, for your applications from the means in okay, let me begin in simple words. We can collect the data and then organize and query it for the use in our applications only. We can that is the client data can be collected and queried and can be organized for setting trends and patterns, for realizing the trends and patterns in the application. That is the main use of your New Relic. And millions of operational, we can access your millions of operational logs and matrices in of the user data, and from that we can create different visualization. That is your different visualizations of your data using your query or AI, or that is artificial intelligence, artificial or machine learning. We can group the data to set trends and patterns, or for setting the matrices, and with that we can then analyze the data to achieve better throughput, response time, to reduce the error. That is, we can say to have the, we can then analyze the data and use it to improve the better customer experience, or to retain the customers and to target the potential customers. We can use the data. So so let's begin that. Let's begin with a dashboard example. Okay, so what is the concept of dashboard? Okay, so in picture you can see a New Relic dashboard. So let me explain where the dashboard picture comes. It's maybe so visualizations, powerful visualizations, I can say, is much easier to analyze and to carry on further than your simple raw data or group data. I think visualizations are much more friendly and than your raw data. So for that concept only dashboard is used. So let's begin with your dashboard concept. That here what is the basic motto of dashboard, Relic dashboard is that we can interpret the data to create your meaningful visualizations in order to analyze your client data to increase your throughput response time, etc. That is to basically the objective is to retain customers, okay, and to increase your user experience. So in the picture you can see a New Relic dashboard. So let me explain about it. Okay, so in the whatever data we are collecting in from the client side, that it is in real time. We are collecting the data of client in real time, in real scenarios. Okay, so this is your New Relic dashboard. So let's dive into it. How can we interpret and analyze the data using a New Relic? That start in the first of all, we can move into the different websites by simply your API or your open source agent, and then after we can within that we can go to create a first. The homepage will be the homepage will be consisting of browse data, AI alerts and AI and dashboard, etc. Then we can click on we can move the mouse over dashboard. We can on the right hand side a option will come that to create a dashboard. Then to create on we can click on to create a dashboard. Then after that we can create respective, we can organize, we can enter the data into dashboard via charts. Okay, we have different charts like your database methods. For that we have different database methods. For charts we have different we can organize the data into different charts. For have different things like your database methods, your errors, your keys, then your cache hits, different types. These are the different type of charts that we can use in your dashboard. And data also, your average response time is a one type of chart. And so we can then under the create dashboard we can create a chart, and then for that we have we can use a builder query, or we can use or we can do it by mouse down, by markdown. That is by using your text or images or links. We can create it, or we can simply create a chart. Then the respective chart we want. Then within the chart we can by running your queries, it's NRQL queries, we can do that. Then after the data is organized into your chart, then we can run respective NRQL queries and the data, and then creating a visual grouping of the data, or for that. And then the data can be grouped into your different pie chart. That is the we can summarize the summarization of the data can be done into your different pie chart, tables, billboard, anything, bar chart that is seen in the picture. That is the summary of data, grouping of data that can be done using your NRQL queries, respective NRQL queries. Then similarly we can go for adding other charts, other type of charts, and we can similarly go on analyzing the different data. Okay, so that is the basic concept of your New Relic. So We can also add customized attributes and for analyzing the data, and also we can customize events. Okay, based on the attributes that whenever that particular we are interested in a particular data, then the event will be created for that, and alarm respective and alarm will be sent to the sent for that particular data. So that was all about your New Relic. So let's move on to the next last question. So that is list out different use case where we can use AWS CloudWatch. So first of all, yeah, it's also similar AWS CloudWatch that is used to monitor data. That is, we can gather the client side data at every layer of the performance stack, that is starting from your front end to your infrastructure. We can gather the data. So you might be guessing from it that how important it is. We can gather the data and we can find out the bottlenecks in the performance via your service lens. One service lens is there for why they can, via that we can find out the bottlenecks in the performance, and with that we can combine your that data with your Amazon AWS X-ray, and we can set up different combine with that, and we can use that to create when we can use that to create your trends and patterns in your application, and we can use that to reduce your MTTR, that is your mean time to resolution. We can reduce that. Then next is we can also achieve optimize resource planning using this. That is an alarm is okay. No, let's me begin from the beginning. That we can whenever the matrices and whenever our matrices that we have defined for our application that comes below your, or it hits that threshold value, or the value that is being sent by your machine learning machine learning events, then that time alarm will be sent, and it can automate your EC2 capacity auto scale, and it automatically it can or it can upgrade the capacity of EC2 instance, or it can stop the EC2 instance, and in this way we can achieve resource planning, better achieve optimize our resource planning in that. And also as I said mentioned that we can use fast and interactive queries to create powerful visualizations, and that we can use for analysis of the client side data. That is the basic purpose of AWS CloudWatch. So that was all for day 4 assignment. Hope I have given a good and brief explanation of all these questions. So that was all for day 4. Thank you. Bye.